So hello everybody, welcome back. So I wanted to continue talking to you about the medicine topic, and this one is about things that you might want to get, and some tips on things that will work and things that will not work. This is according to my experience, of course, and I hope this information is helpful. So if you want to buy me a coffee, you can do that in the link down below. If you wanted to help me out, you can also send an Amazon gift card. The email is down below. And if you want to know more about the topics that I am talking about, I finished the book that is about health and how to deal with sanitation and stuff during hard times. Is one of the books that I have in the 101 tips for hard times, that it is in the Gumroad page. The link is down below. So anyway, I hope all of those books of mine are helpful to the people that read them. Anyway, so things that you might be miscalculating or not buying, and then now you're going to have to try to go get them and stuff. It's about these ones are medical devices. The first one, and by the way, this is no particular order, but is the first thing that you will probably want to have, is an oximeter. The oximeters are about $10, and they work with batteries. I have not seen those things in a manual thing. You can have it substituted by an app in certain cell phones. So the oximeter, you just put it in your finger. It's a clap thing. You put it in your finger, and it will measure your pulse and your oxygen level. Usually it works with AA batteries. And a tip about all the medical devices: you cannot use them with rechargeable batteries. I'm sorry. But the problem with rechargeable batteries is that they do not have the same voltage that alkaline kind of batteries do have. And they will give you bad readings, and especially the blood pressure measuring thing. Oh crap, those are going to scare the hell out of you if you do not have brand new batteries almost, and I do mean almost every time that you use them. Because by the way, those medical devices will use the batteries like if it was a wildfire. I don't know what the hell happened with that topic, but it's a thing. And anyway, if you have a smartphone, the ones that can read your fingerprint, and they are Samsung, it is said by in the social media, they said that the oximeter, you can have it in that Samsung. So all you do is press that thing or read the manual, because an oximeter is one of those things that you really want to have, because you can have somebody who is fainting, and it might be for lack of oxygen, it might be because they're diabetic, or it might be blood pressure problems. And if it is a blood pressure problem, it can be three things. It can be problems with your blood, problems with your kidneys, or problems with your oxygen. When you're about to pass out, your heart will not let you pass out, so your blood will rise a little bit. And so, you need to check for the three of them, just in case, And this is like a thing. You will find that people, most of the time, they are weak, they are fainting, they have big headaches, they are dizzy, and stuff like that. So first, check the oxygen. Second, check the blood pressure. The blood pressure you can do with the manual thing. Quite frankly, you do need that device because the manual is the best. The problem is that you will need to have somebody that can actually use it. And that one does not require batteries, but it does get different for the arms, because obviously is three types of sizes. One that goes for very big people, the other one that is regular people or medium-sized people, and then there are the ones for children. So all of them require different kind of cuff thing, the one that goes into your elbow. And also, it's important to know that you can have the electronical one. The electronical one is, there are two, the ones that you can put in your wrist and the one that you can put in your elbow. The one that you can put in your wrist, my God, I freaking do not recommend that you get the wrist one. I don't care what brand you get. Oh crap, I have tried those with neighbors, family, friends, and I can tell you 7 out of 10 times they do not work. And in fact, they will give you a heart attack because you can have your blood pressure in, let's say, 14, and the thing will say it is 19. Or, oh crap, I had a friend that she almost, she wanted to kind of rush to whatever, she almost fainted when she read that her blood pressure was 20 over 11 or something. And then I was kind of like, what the hell? So she came here, because she lives nearby, so she came here, and then she was almost passing out because she doesn't have money, and an issue like this, you're probably going to be dead within minutes or seconds, for all I know, if you have that kind of blood pressure or having a brain damage problem thing. So it is bad. And then I ask, did you change the freaking batteries? Because, those devices, like I told you, they will not work or will give you the wrong reading if they have the wrong kind of batteries. Or if the batteries are not fully, and I do mean fully charged. And then she said yes or whatever, so I told her to come over, and then she used the one that I have, the one that is for the elbow, and her blood pressure was actually 14, almost 15, and 8, so yeah, that was not that bad. I think that she didn't have that problem, but the scare that she got from that number, oh crap. And I have seen, like I told you, 7 out of 10 times, that the people that I know that have used the one that is for the wrist, my God, they almost have a heart attack when they read that thing. So no, do not buy the wrist one. Like I said, different brands. So no. And then you can buy the elbow one. If you buy the elbow one, they will give you the wrong reading if they have the wrong kind of battery, or if the battery are weird or whatever. So, it is just one of those things that if you have somebody who has a very big headache and then you read a blood pressure that says, 17, oh crap, it is really bad. And if the reading is wrong, you might scare the hell out of that people, or that person might be scared out of her mind or his mind. So hell no, you want to try to have the right reading. So the elbow one, you want to have the one that is a good brand, and you do need to have fresh batteries all the freaking time. And when you're using a device for reading the blood pressure, not everyone knows this, but you are supposed to use, read the right arm and then the left arm, or vice versa. But the point is that you do not use only one arm. Why? Well, because, you have two systems in your blood, one that goes up and one that goes down, meaning one that takes your oxygen and one that leaves with your oxygen. So it's good to know if in your right arm you have more, pressure than in the left one, and vice versa. So you wait, like you do the right one, you wait 1 minute, and then you do the left one, or vice versa. But and if they differ for more than, let's say 2 or 3, oh crap, then you have a problem. You might need to go to the hospital or something, And if the reading that you're getting with those devices are too weird, or you don't trust them, then you use them in somebody that it's okay. For example, if you are the one who is healthy, then you try it on yourself. And that way, if it gives you the right reading, then, then now you can trust the freaking thing. Because, it will give you weird readings. Oh, crap. The scare that people get when they get the wrong reading, not worth it. the freaking, money that you are paying for a device that has a brand that doesn't work or whatever. So try to get the ones that get very good reviews, even if they're a little bit more expensive, because it might actually cost you a heart attack, which will be very, very, very expensive. So hell no, don't be cheap. And anyway, other devices that you might want to get for the medical thing. The glucometer. This one is very important because here's the deal. If you buy a glucometer, you want to have one that can work with general stripes for whatever brand. Quite frankly, it's annoying because if you get a specific glucometer that is cheap and the stripes are cheap or whatever, but then in hard times, finding the correct stripes for the glucometer is going to be very, very, and I do mean very hard, if it is possible at all to get them. So hell no, you want to have one that works with general stripes or generic stripes or something like that, because a glucometer per se is not expensive, but the stripes are very, very, very expensive, and they work with a date on it. So some people cheat the system by putting a different date in the glucometer and then they reset it or whatever. But I don't know. I don't recommend, altering whatever the hell you're altering, because, you're not supposed to be cheap in terms of trying to get a test that is, proper. So I don't know what to tell you. You can find, in other YouTube videos channels that will explain the proper use of the stripes and the glucometer thing and the brands and whatever. I'm just telling you, generally speaking, some of the things that people will do to try to make the stripes work longer or whatever. Like I said, some people will do it. Other people will be like me, like saying, "Oh hell no, you want to do the things correct," because like I said, a wrong reading, of your blood sugar or your blood pressure or your oxygen or whatever. Oh my God, it can scare the hell out of you, especially if you're dealing with kids. So hell no. Anyway, you also might have to work with the lancets and stuff like that, but that will be my recommendation, because it is going to be very difficult to find the right stripes. And the other device that you might want to get is pill cutters. Certain pills you might be able to cut. Other pills, yeah, you're not supposed to cut, especially if they are a triangle shape or too small, or they are too loose. They are not strong enough to be cut and stuff. So depending upon the brand, certain pills will use, as soon as you try to cut them, they will just turn into kind of sand. They will be dust. They will not be able to hold the shape or whatever, because they are not meant to be divided. So and again, this one you might need to talk to your doctor if you can take only half or whatever. But because when you're cutting pills, that counts as self-medication, especially if you're trying to be cheap. I have seen a lot of people that are trying to be cheap with the pills, because they are kind of like, yeah, I'm supposed to be taking 2 pills daily, so I'm taking only one because I have money to pay only enough for 10 days, so this will make it last 20 days. Hell no. And when you're buying generics versus certain brands, then this is going to be a very big issue. I have said it in the other videos, especially when it comes to mentally ill people, because as soon as you change the brands, the components are not the same, and it will work differently depending on, some people will work they will work normal with either brand, but there is a hell of a lot of people that will just not be able to change brands, and they will not be able to cut the pills, because if you cut them, then basically you are screwing with the system or whatever. So when you're buying a medical device, you do need to have consciousness as to when to use it, when not to use it, and stuff like that, and what the hell does it mean. And anyway, you also may need more thermometers. Not a lot of people put thermometers in their first aid kit. Not a lot of people put the oximeter in your first aid kit. You're supposed to have those in your first aid kit. And you're also supposed to have them everywhere, meaning one in your car, one in your bag, and one in your house and whatever, because these things are very important. Because if you have somebody who is turning blue, you do not know if it is because of oxygen or if it is because of a sugar problem. So you do need to take a first aid course. At least someone in your family have to try to do this thing. And depending upon your temperament, because I have seen people, including myself sometimes, when you're dealing with people that are sick, you do need certain kind of quietness in your head, because otherwise you might go crazy. You might not think straight, as in, do I check the readings again? Do I change the batteries on the freaking thing? Do I go to the doctor? Do I call someone or whatever? So you want to if you are that type of person, you want to kind of have a written thing, in the first aid kit or in the medicine cabinet and stuff, because saying something like, if you're in an emergency, call your neighbor and this is the number, or if you're in an emergency, call this, whatever, or stuff like that, because it's very important. Because if you're not thinking and you're panicking, you are going to miss opportunities to help the person that you're trying to deal with, especially if it is yourself, because of a bad reading. My God, you have no idea how bad this is when a device of those things gives you a bad reading. You might also want to have a chart that it is printed in terms of how is your pulse supposed to be, because it's not the same for newborns, for babies and toddlers and kids and adults and elderly. They are not the same. Blood pressure, like I said, it is going to be one of those things that is, kind of a regular thing that you're supposed to be doing. I have never done this for a baby or a toddler, so I will not know how the hell to do that for a baby or a toddler. So I do not know what the hell to tell you, because they are babies, and I do not think that you can press them a lot, because they are babies. So dealing with first aid kits and devices for toddlers, babies, and for kids, it's entirely different. And you might need to have other kind of devices for your pets also, because it's not the same. And obviously some people have certain things for the pets, that includes the things for taking the ticks or the animals and the bites, and removing mucus and the pus and stuff like that. So I don't know, it will depend upon you. You also might need a device for taking the mucus out of your nose, as in nasal aspirators. There are two types: the ones that is manual, and the one that it is electronic. The one that it is electronic, they have a weird song. They go kind of like la 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 la. Yeah, that thing is for kids. Oh my God, that one is awesome. Now, the thing about nasal aspirators is that, if you have them but you don't use them, then what's the point? Well, the point of you having that is the fact that when you get a flu or whatever the hell, you are able to prevent infection. You want to prevent infection. The best way that you can do that, and the best way, is to remove whatever blockage you have in your nose. And for cleaning these devices, you might need to have, special liquids, or sometimes, you can boil certain things or whatever, depending upon, of course, what you are dealing with. For example, if you're dealing with the nasal aspirator, you might be able to boil it a little bit. You put it in hot water with a drop of vinegar, and that might do the trick of cleaning it. or you can just have one per person and you identify it, and then you don't share it at all. But you still need to know how the hell to clean those things. And like I said, if you're going to deal with these devices, you do need to have batteries that are brand new next to them. And also, you want to have a special kind of packages for the first aid kits and the medicines. First aid kits do not mix with medicines. So do not put medicine with your first aid kit, because you might actually even kill someone accidentally, because if they are allergic to aspirin or whatever, and you have aspirin in your first aid kit and they take it, they might be into trouble. So no, medicine is one thing, first aid is another one. And when you're giving first aid and medical devices, you do need to have, especially when you're dealing with other people, you do need to have the legal part taken care of, because if you do not know what the hell you're doing, you might actually hurt somebody really bad. The tourniquets also are part of this problem. If you put a tourniquet when you don't need it, you might actually cut the circulation that it is normal or proper to an extreme thing, and then you might end up making things worse. And also, when you're dealing with a tourniquet, you might need to write down the time, because you're not supposed to cut down circulation for more than 2, maybe 3 hours, because otherwise you might actually lose the arm or the leg or whatever. So there are a lot of things that are medical devices that I do not recommend that you use them without the proper training. However, I do recommend getting them, because you will always find someone that does know how the hell to use it. Because, you always will find somebody who is studying for being a doctor or a nurse, or somebody that did a first aid course, or somebody who is a paramedic nearby, because that is like a certain kind of common profession. Have you met a doctor? I'm pretty sure you have. So if you have met anyone, then you do know that it's very unlikely that you go through meeting 100 people and not at least, maybe 3 or 4 of them are people that have done a first aid course, or people that can help you out even with the basics. By the way, the thermometers are 2 types. The one that goes into your tongue or your underarm, and the one that goes into your rectum. So you need to know the difference and how to identify each one, because otherwise you might screw up. The thermometers that are normal, if they have a very short tip, very short, like this short, they are for the rectum. If they have a longer tip, probably around 2 sides of your nails, like that, a little bit like that, is for your mouth and for your underarm. You may also want to consider, like I said, having written down all of the data that it is normal, like if you have a fever or not, and you want to have it in both in centigrades and Fahrenheit, because if you're dealing with somebody who can help you out, let's say that you have a friend who is Latin, and like me, and they are talking to you, they might not know what the hell is a Fahrenheit thing. So especially if they are visiting you and stuff. So have that written down in an agenda thing, or maybe buy the charts that are already kind of like the ones that the nurses always carry. You also want to have records of the recordings that you're getting. For example, if you got a record of today, a blood sugar of 100, so you write down today 100 and the time. Now there are agendas that the devices will get. When you buy the devices, like the glucometer or whatever, they will have an agenda. So what I recommend is that you get several of those agendas if you have several people in your group, because if you are a diabetic or you're trying to figure out if somebody is diabetic, you are going to need that device. You also will need a nebulizer, and you will need liquid for the nebulizers. The liquid for the nebulizers, I do not know if you can get them without prescription. In my country, you can get them without prescription, so no problem, but but you do need to get a nebulizer. There are people that will make oxygen mask and stuff from scratch in due to the hard times, and I can tell you right now that they do not work. I know they seem to work because they have bubbles, oxygen, whatever, but the problem is that when you're dealing with you trying to get oxygen, is a specific type of oxygen that you're getting. You need to get oxygen that it is almost 100% oxygen only, and that cannot be achieved with you making this one work, because let's say that the oxygen in the environment is 50, and the one that you're getting with the devices that you are shift making or making shifting by yourself, or you're handcrafting by yourself, they might be up to 70%. They are not 100%. So certain things will not have substitutes, like the nebulizer and others. However, if you don't have a nebulizer, the device, you can find vapor things that might work, and you can find other things that might work, because people have been dealing with problems with breathing since we are born and since we are human, because we need to breathe to be alive. So and the flu has been around, I don't know how long, probably since we are alive also. So I don't think the flu or whatever the hell is going to go away. And so you want to have the alternative that is natural also, just in case, because some devices will work with batteries. The nebulizer might work with batteries, some of them, but most of them will work with electricity. And so and if you don't have electricity and you don't have the batteries, then what the hell do you do? And this is an issue, because like I mentioned before, you do need to have three things. First aid supplies, the medical devices supplies, and then the medicines. And you need containers that are specific for each one. The medicines you're supposed to have locked, lock them away, or in a place that children cannot get them. The first aid kits, you want to have it with 5 different compartments, because as soon as you get to the first aid kit, the first thing that you want to have outside of the container is gloves and things to protect yourself, like a mask for giving CPR or whatever, because these things you're not supposed to give first aid to someone if you're going to be injured or be dead if you're trying to help them, because then you will create a problem, because if the rescue team, instead of rescuing 1 people, now they will have to rescue 2 people. So no, you want to have that one like outside, reachable, like the first thing, like that one. The other one is supposed to be separated by treat, clean, and then protect. So you want to have them separated into 3, and you want to have several other things in those first aid containers. I have mentioned the first aid videos. I have a series about it, about what are the things that are probably most likely that you're going to face and stuff like that. And anyway, I hope that all of this information is helpful. So thank you very much for your support and your time.